Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Bruce Carrington, Shu Shu he calls himself, from Brooklyn, New York. He moved to 11 wins with 7 KOs, no draws, no defeats, and he knocked out a guy called Bernard Torres. And Torres came in with kind of a glossy record, 18 wins, 8 KOs, only 1 defeat. Southpaw, originally from the Philippines, now based in Norway, which is kind of strange, but his only previous defeat was to a guy with a 13-1 record. He lost a split decision over 10 rounds, and that was back in September of 2022. Well, Bruce Carrington, Shu Shu, he showed a lot in this contest. I wouldn't say there are still things he's got to work on, which I'll go into in a moment, but very, very impressive finish. Shu Shu is an orthodox fighter. He likes to fight sort of almost bolt upright, and he uses a Philly shell a lot, which is kind of strange. I mean, it's I'm not entirely convinced about that, because early on, Torres was landing a few punches. Torres is southpaw, and he was landing that backhand, and it did sort of ring a few alarm bells for me watching it. But Shu Shu settled into it. He wasn't buzzed at any point. He settled into it. Gradually began to sort of thread his punches, mostly down the middle, although just a couple had a sort of slight curve on them. But he likes to fight very upright and fire straight punches, orthodox fighter. Uses his feet well, creeps forward quickly, but almost, because he's so tall, it's almost like, he's there to be hit when he actually isn't. He's slightly out of range, so he controls that distance quite well. Torres, make no mistake about it, Torres came to win. I mean, he was throwing punches and looking to land. He was a shorter man, especially as he fought with a slight crouch, whereas Shu Shu was bolt upright. And he was springing forward, landing some punches. And like I say, in the first and second round, Shu Shu had to watch out for that those southpaw backhands, because a couple did clip him, and he had to be on his game. But gradually, I think by the third round, he was, like I say, threading the punches together very well with a lot of accuracy, and they were coming in 2s and 3s. Gradually, he was settling into the fight, and you could tell that Torres began to throw punches almost as a retaliation. It's almost like he was trying to counter the counter puncher. And it was, I wouldn't say Torres is a good fighter. I wouldn't say Torres was having no success, but you could just tell the sort of momentum. The guy in the ascendancy was definitely Carrington. And then in the fourth round, the last minute of the fourth round, he really came to life. He was firing some really excellent combinations. They were all landing. You thought the writing was on the wall here. Torres was kind of being ground down. And then with only 1 second left of the fourth round, Carrington landed there was a combination, maybe 4 or 5 punches, and Carrington landed a very accurate right hand, bang on the side of the chin. Torres sort of did a 180, fell forward, was never going to beat the count. The fight was waved off, and Carrington became the first man to stop Torres. He picked up his 11th win, his 7th KO, and with it came a couple of those belts, WBA and WBO Intercontinental belt, I think, which gets him a ranking. I think the North American featherweight belt was on the line as well. These guys were featherweights, by the way. But it was an impressive performance by Carrington. I mean, I do worry a little bit about the stand-up style, that relying on that Philly shell when you're so upright. But against a guy like Torres, who was a very good come forward pressure fighter, but not with a great deal of science behind it. If you met someone with a bit more nous, I think Carrington might find himself in maybe a little bit of trouble. He would certainly get hit. I'd like to see him tighten up the defense a little bit more. But overall, I mean, he's only 26, so he's coming into his prime. He looks good. He's definitely a guy who's going to be in that featherweight mix. So yeah, look out for Bruce Carrington, Shu Shu. Good fighter indeed. Anyway, if you saw the fight, leave your comments below, and thank you as always for your time for watching this video. There's 100 things you could be doing and you're watching this video, so I really appreciate it. But please hit the like button, Hit the subscribe button if you're new and support the channel. Let's build up Joe Stunner Boxing. Thanks for your time as always, and bye for now.